everyone, it's me, Loren Molloy. As promised, I had posted maybe a week or two ago, maybe a little more, about ask me top 5 any questions, and I'll choose a few and record a video with you guys about my top 5 choices to questions. I thought this would be a nice little way for us to get along and have a moment together and allow you to learn a little bit more about myself. So as you know, my name is Loren Molloy. I'm a director, producer, actor, author, TV show host. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, you'll see the link to my YouTube channel. Please feel free to subscribe. All of my videos will be on there for you to watch, like, share, comment. So, thank you guys for your amazing questions. These were pretty difficult, actually. And if you're watching, please let me know you're watching in the comments section. I will be looking out for it and making sure that I post your live comments in the video for everyone to see as often as I can. It's not going to be a very long video, but I thought it would be a fun moment, and I keep my promises. So, top 5 with Loren Molloy, part 1. Oh, hello, Nelson. Awesome to see you. Nelson was in Yield, which is the first feature horror film that Happy Horrors Productions, my film company, made. He also did the poster art for our film that's coming out, The Devil's Lettuce, which is in pre-production right now. So make sure you look up The Devil's Lettuce on Indiegogo and help support the film. Hi, Nelson. Hello, Joanna. She has an assistant producer credit with The Devil's Lettuce through the Indiegogo campaign. So make sure you get yours. Thank you for watching. Hi, John. How are you? Thank you for joining. Guys, feel free to share this video with everyone. And I am going to put the Devil's Lettuce link on the screen for everyone to see, so you can donate or get your assistant producer thank you IMDb credit, depending which one you choose if you wish. Otherwise, no worries, but at least you get to look at it. Look it up on IMDb and Indiegogo, The Devil's Lettuce. All right, so the first question I chose, the first top 5 I chose is my top 5 horror movie actresses or actors. Now, these are just some of the ones that I enjoy. Please don't think they're the only ones. Hi, Charlie, how are you? So, like I said, one of the questions I chose from you guys was my top 5 horror movie actresses or actors. So, in this one, I'm going to say that my top 5 are Vincent Price, Katharine Isabelle, Doug Bradley, Fairuza Balk, and Sherry Moon Zombie. Now, I don't know if you guys know all those people. I'm sure you know most of them. I hope you know all of them. Obviously, I'm sure we all know who Vincent Price is. Doug Bradley, if you're not sure, just in case some people might not know, I'm not judging anyone. Doug Bradley plays Pinhead or Hell Priest in Hellraiser. He's been in other stuff too, but he's definitely my favorite from that. He actually has a copy of my book, The Storyteller of Pain, and I wrote from one Storyteller of Pain to another, something like that. So it's kind of cool he has a copy. Katharine Isabelle, some of you might know her from Ginger Snaps or American Mary. If you guys know movies that you love these people in, please feel free to leave it in the comment section. Fairuza Balk, I think we all know from The Craft. I'm sure you know her from other things. And Sherry Moon Zombie, of course, you know, Rob Zombie's wife. Give me a B, give me an A, give me a B, give me a Y. What's that spell? What's that spell? Kind of love her. She's awesome. Yes, Randall, I'm glad. You know, I'm not trying to, assume with anyone. You know what happens when you assume. So, once again, one of my top 5 horror movie actresses or actors. Going through my mind as quickly as I could, thinking about it. Right now, I have to say, like I said, Vincent Price, Katharine Isabelle, Doug Bradley, Fairuza Balk, and Sherry Moon Zombie. So those are my top 5 with that. All right, moving on. Next one. This was an interesting one. Top 5 horror movies before the 80s. What are my top 5 horror movies before the 80s? Very cool. Yeah, American Mary was a really good movie. I loved that. I love everything she's in, though. I even liked Catherine Isabel in The Order, which is on Netflix. You might not like the whole show, but I literally watched it for her. She's just phenomenal. One day I'd love to get to a level where I can actually have her in one of my movies. So, got to dream big, right? So, anyway, back to top 5 horror movies before the 80s. Now, I went through as many as I could because there's way too many. So don't think this is the only top 5. I mean, these are just top 5 of right now. And if you ask me at a different time, I might have a different top 5. But I think anybody's a horror lover knows just how difficult it is to try to name just 5. But in order from, oldest to newest-ish, top 5 horror movies before 1980. House of Wax with Vincent Price. Now, I don't know how many of you actually know about that movie. That movie was pretty damn gruesome, honestly. I love his version. Then again, we know from the question above it, Vincent Price is definitely one of my favorites. So, House of Wax with Vincent Price in it. Then another one of Vincent Price's movies, House on Haunted Hill. Then The Haunting. Then The Legend of Hell House. And then Halloween. Yep. So top 5 horror movies before 1980. I really think that was such a great question. One I've never been asked before. I was going to put Nosferatu in there, but quite honestly, it's one of those movies that I watched, appreciated, still appreciate, but I don't know if I'd put it in my top 5, even though it was like the origin movie in a way. But have any of you seen House of Wax with Vincent Price? If you haven't, you got to try to find it. I'm sure it's on Amazon Prime. House on Haunted Hill was great, especially, Vincent Price original. I did like the remake with Gregory Rush. That's obviously after 1980. But I think of it as a completely separate movie, just with the same title. And then I like it a lot. It's a lot of fun. The Haunting, the black and white, I always use it as a reference with people of one of the reasons I knew I needed to make horror movies. And The Haunting had this moment. It doesn't ruin the movie. Don't worry. It's not a little spoiler alert or anything. But they had this moment in it where it's just a door frame. And the way the camera is panning around this door frame with the way they're doing sound effects of breathing and this, that, and the other, it was so terrifying the first time I watched it when I was younger. I had to turn lights on. And it was nothing more than just sound effects and ambiance and just nuances in a way. So that was one of those movies that made me be like, I need to make movies because of it. Going back to some of your comments before we move on. Yes, I'm so glad, Charlie. Yes, House of Wax is incredible. I'm so glad some people know this movie. Yes, I think I probably love everything by Vincent Price. Even when he was on The Muppet Show. If you haven't seen him on The Muppet Show, the original, he's great in that too. Yes, Brandon, awesome combinations of stuff, right? You gotta love the classics, absolutely. I like a lot of the new stuff too, but the question was before 1980, so that was the combination. Legend of Hell House was a book by Richard Matheson, however you want to say it. And if you haven't read the book and you're able to read, like to read, want to read, either find it on Kindle and paperback or in audio. But The Legend of Hell House, the book, is so much more fantastic. I literally read it every single year. And it's probably one of the only books I do that with. I also watch the movie a lot. It has an incredible cast. It's British. I don't know how many of you have known the movie, seen the movie, but it really is great in its own way. But to know the book and all the naughtiness that he adds that couldn't be in the movie is just really great too. And like I said, Halloween, how can you not mention John Carpenter's Halloween? I mean, I still love the fact that he literally had bags of leaves that he made everybody re-rake and bag up to make this movie happen. Like moments like that shows such epic dedication, and that opening music. Um, I also met Tony Moran, who played the original Michael Myers in the first, and he's such a sweetheart. So if you don't know who he is, definitely look into it. But the original Halloween is always going to be one of those movies for me. So I don't know how you guys feel about those top 5 horror movies before 1980, but those are the ones I picked right now. By the way, I almost added every single Abbott and Costello movie during that time period. Abbott and Costello Meet the Frankenstein, The Mummy, all of those. I love them so much, but most people wouldn't want to put them in the horror category. I'm still doing a shout out to Abbott and Costello because they should not be forgotten. Those movies should not be forgotten. And I need to get like the entire collection of them and just like binge watch one day. So I'm sure I could find them on Amazon Prime or a lot of the streaming channels. I'm sure I can get them on DVD and stuff like that. But Abbott and Costello Meets the Mummy, Abbott and Costello Meets Frankenstein, and others should definitely be mentioned because they're a lot of fun and they still have a lot of the iconic horror movie characters. So, all right, next one. Next and last, my top 5 horror authors. Now, I talk a lot about my horror authors that I love in interviews I've done, but I still read every single one of these authors. So I feel like that says something right there. My top 5 horror authors are Edgar Allan Poe, Richard Matheson, Clive Barker, Bram Stoker, and Laurel K. Hamilton. She writes the Anita Blake series. If you don't know who she is, if you don't know the Anita Blake series, check her out. She's one badass woman author, and then her series, the Anita Blake series, is amazing. She writes another type of series, by the way, that I don't follow. So that's why I'm being very specific in the Anita Blake series. Mary Shelley should be mentioned as well because, you know, she wrote Frankenstein and some other wonderful books. But I picked these because I literally still read these every single year. Bram Stoker's Dracula was one of the first books I read in elementary school, as well as Edgar Allan Poe. Richard Matheson, like I said, wrote The Legend of Hell House. He actually also wrote I Am Legend. For those that like that movie with Will Smith, he wrote the book. I happen to love Legend of Hell House. I know I've said it already, but that's my favorite of his. If you're going to start with one, that's the one I suggest. Clive Barker. The first book I ever read by him was The Hellbound Heart. Which is the Hell Priest and about the original characters. It's the book for Hellraiser. And after that, his book Cabal, I love, which is the book version of Nightbreed. Both of those are just so wonderful. I have yet to meet Clive Barker himself, but getting to meet Doug Bradley is definitely close enough, and I'll take it for now. And like I said, Laurel K. Hamilton, her Anita Blake series is really cool. She combines all sorts of mythical creatures, horror icon mythos, a badass female, vigilante, as well as, killing vampires and zombies. And there's a lot of raunchiness in it too, a lot of sex scenes and stuff. So if you like that stuff, that's in there too. So it's actually, a nice, interesting mashup she does. So if you don't know her books, definitely check her out. And if you haven't read my books, definitely check mine out. I have The Very Devil Herself, The Storyteller of Pain, The Bedtime Killer, and right now I'm also writing The Queen of Hearts, which is about a female serial killer / vigilante. And like I also said, I am a director and producer So I am in pre-production and I'm about to start filming in September for The Devil's Lettuce. That's about three guys who go into a graveyard on Friday the 13th to smoke a bowl and have some fun. And one of them gets trashed, drops the bowl, it breaks, and instead of just ending the party, they find a human skull in the graveyard, smoke out of that, and get possessed. Then they start not being able to control themselves because they're possessed by, we'll find out, and start killing all sorts of people. It's a gory, bloody slasher killer movie with cannabis. And it has a fun, interesting, intelligent twist for an ending. So as you can see, it's scrolling on the bottom of the screen. Please go to the Indiegogo campaign and donate, buy some perks, help support the film because every dollar matters. You have no idea how much film production insurance costs. It's mind-boggling. You have no idea how much special effects cost. Fake blood costs a lot, folks. Plus, we have to make sure that everybody is able to get to and from. We have to take care of locations. We have to make sure that we can get this film to you. There's so many different details that I'm not even going to bore you about them. But when you donate more than $25, you get an IMDb credit attached. So that's pretty cool. I mean, you got to have an IMDb film credit attached just to support this film through Happy Horrors Productions. That's a big deal, and we're only having this campaign go on for less than a month now. I think we have about 20 days left. We have a bunch of people that already bought assistant and producer credits, and a lot of people have donated to this film, but it takes a lot and it takes a village. So we're asking for you guys to feel free to donate, sponsor, buy a perk, share it around, let everybody know, and help support The Devil's Lettuce and me, Loren Molloy, and my staff at Happy Horrors Productions. This is just one of many films to come, and this is going to be a lot of fun. So, Killers in Cannabis is coming. The Devil's Lettuce. I hope you enjoyed this part one of my top 5 questions that you guys gave me. I hope you enjoyed my answers. Please feel free to leave comments in the comment section. And thank you so much for being one of my fans, my friends, supporters, and followers. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching. And until next time, happy horrors.